Welcome back, everybody. What we're going to do next is we're going to put some sprinkles onto this donut, and the first thing we got to do is we're going to add a really new layer in here. I'm going to hit Shift A. I don't think I've got anything else up here. Shift A. To make a sprinkle, it's going to look like a cylinder. I've already changed the vertex number, radius, and depth to the way that I want it. I'm going to get to Edit Mode. I'm going to hit Face Select. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this up just a little bit, and then I'm going to scale it in. Now, if I want to, I could actually do that again to make it even more round. So I can extrude it up a little bit more. I can S to scale. Right, if I really want to kind of get a cap on that. You certainly don't have to, and that's not necessarily what a sprinkle looks like, but that gives you an idea. So extrude and scale it, extrude it, and scale it. Alright, so there, I've got my sprinkle made. Okay, so that's cool. I know this thing is probably super massive. I hit S and bring it down. It's probably better. I'm going to smooth it out too. I'm not going to add a subsurf modifier on this, and the reason being is that we're going to have a lot of these, and if I put a subsurf modifier on to every single one, it's gonna take forever for my scene to render. And so that's cool. So I've got this donut, and what I want to do is I want to add a particle system onto this donut, and I want to add this particle. This is, I've got a cylinder that gets created. I'm going to delete that thing. It's not supposed to exist. Delete. That's the cylinder that I want. This is the mug, and this, if I remember right, is my sprinkle. So go to that, okay? And what I want to do is I want to go back to the frosting. I want to click on the frosting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a particle system onto it. I'm going to hit New, and it defaults as an emitter. If I want to see what the emitter looks like, I would hit Alt A. Basically, starts running an animation. That's what Alt A does. And if I hit Z, you'll notice that my frosting is actually emitting itself, or emitting just something. I'm going to hit Alt A to basically stop the animation. I don't want this to be an emitter of anything, and so I'm going to change this to hair. Now, when it goes to hair, again, what we're going to recognize is that the hair is actually coming out of the frosting, but it's coming out the wrong way. And there's a couple reasons why it's doing that. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to flip the normals of the hair, but of the frosting, and hopefully that's going to take the hair and move it up. Okay. And right, so there's a couple ways that I can try to do that. I'm going to get to Edit Mode. I'm going to hit Z. I'm going to actually get out of Edit Mode. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hide that. So there we go. Maybe I'll hit Z here. I'm in Face Select mode. Let's get out of that. Let's see. Edit Mode. Hit Z. Now I can't see the hair right now, but this is a good start for me. So I've got all these things. What I want to do is I want to flip the directions of the normals. How I can see the normals is I can hit N, and then there is usually something on here. Normals right there. Good. It's showing me where the normals are at. I'm going to go over here where it says Shading and UVs and hit Flip Direction. So it's going to flip the directions of the normals. I'm going to deselect everything, and I'm going to get out of Edit Mode. And yes, it's done what I wanted. Alt H is going to give me my donut back. I'm going to hit Z. So, alright, that might look awful to some of you, but that looks really good to me. And so what I'm going to do is, instead of it being hair, is I'm going to change it to an object. So I'm going to click Object, and the object that I want is going to be the sprinkle. And there we go. Now there's a couple things that you can do to kind of make this look, I guess, better, because that doesn't look very good right now. I can go to the... I've got to find it. There's a rotation thing on here that I got to find. I'm going to click Advanced. That's going to help. And there's a rotation, so I'm going to click on the word rotation, make that bigger. Instead of velocity here, I'm going to make it normal. You might have to click something else to make it look right, but then I can increase the random on the right side. So it looks pretty good. I can change the size. I can change the size of the sprinkle if I want to, so some of it being kind of small, some of it being kind of big. But basically, yeah, we took this donut and we looked at it. I'm going to also increase this randomness here. Notice that it's going to bring some of them up. I don't want them to be totally flat on here, but I don't want to make them so big that they look weird. So just a small bit of randomness there. Okay. All right, awesome. So that kind of is taking my sprinkle, making it look okay, but I'm looking at this and it doesn't look right. If I go to the rendered view of it, oh, where did all my frosting go? When I flip the normal direction, it changed a couple things on here, but if I go back to the modifier of my frosting, I go to solidify and I change my offset from 1 back to now a -1, it's going to make that look the way that it's supposed to. So that's usually why that happens. So I just changed my offset back to a -1. And there we go.